Hi, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show. We watch old 16mm films, and even though we are not in the archive, we are somewhere else, we're still going to watch some. We digitized a whole bunch of them, thousands of them, and periodically we can. I basically brought the hard drives, and so we can still do shows. Unfortunately, during the the lunchtime show, I am actually going to be working on processing a bunch of video tapes and DVDs for a video store that will be opening in the financial district of New York. And I'm deep in the bowels of a place, basically going through boxes. And I had mentioned that this place, the video store that I went to almost 30 years ago, and rented two videos. Tribulation 99, which I found yesterday, and another video was called Apocalypse Poo, and my wife, Katrina, found that today. So here it is. This is the video that I rented almost 30 years ago. So my life's gone full circle. It's great. So anyways, we got a bunch of 16mm films that, like I said, I've digitized, and we're already going to watch them. So this is what we're going to watch today. Rumpelstiltskin, a creepy, well, not creepy, but it's marionettes, and some people have a low threshold for marionettes. And it is Rumpelstiltskin, so there is a creepiness to it anyways. Then we're going to jump to the 80s with Where's Shelley, a film about underage drinking. Then Modern Dance Techniques. And then we're going to watch a film that I scanned for a fellow collector, Albert Stegg, who's based in Massachusetts, The World Within. And this is I showed another film about, I guess it was a transient workers who all lived in trailers, and how a church kind of set up a church specifically to offer services to this transient community. This is another film made by them. I think it's Episcopalians, but the color in this is stunning. It's beautiful. It's beautiful shots of New York City, where I just happen to be, and so this is pretty great. So let's watch some films. And it's always great to see you, even though I'm not seeing you. So enjoy.
Stiltskin. A long time ago, in a faraway land, it was ruled by a powerful king. There was a deep, mysterious forest. In this forest lived a strange little man who had one very bad fault.
Go away! Get out! Get out of my forest! Ah! Ah!
Yes, this little man had one bad fault. He was always losing his temper. And when he loses his temper, bad things happen to him, just as they happen to anyone who loses his temper.
Ah! Look what you did! Ah! Ah! Get out of my forest! Get out! Or I'll use my magic flame and make you disappear!
Yes, it was a deep, mysterious forest. And on this particular day, nearby, a miller and his daughter were going to the king's castle. The king was searching for the most talented and beautiful girl in the kingdom to be his son's wife, the princess. The miller of Spring was taking his lovely daughter to present her to the king.
Come along, Juliana.
What's that?
Huh? What's what?
I thought I saw a terrible beast behind that tree.
Imagination. Come along, if you want to be the princess. Come along.
Terrible beast, am I? She wants to be the princess, does she? I'll make her the princess. Oh, yes. I'll make her the princess.
It was nearly evening when the travelers reached the king's castle and were called into the king's presence.
Your daughter is fair, Miller. What can she do?
She spins, Your Majesty.
What else?
She spins.
My son says he has fallen in love with your daughter.
Did you hear that, Juliana?
Yes, Father.
But I say it is not enough that she spins.
But, Your Majesty, she spins the surest cobweb.
Does that make her a princess?
Indeed, I could almost say that she spins straw into gold.
Father, Father.
What did you say?
Would that please Your Majesty?
It would indeed.
Well, I didn't mean that.
This is magnificent. There is a room in the tower where you can spin straw into gold for me.
But Your Majesty...
If you can do that, you will surely be my son's wife.
My father is upset from our long journey.
Juliana.
But take heed. If she cannot spin straw into gold, Miller, you shall lose your head.
There, Juliana.
Straw into gold. If my father had not been angry, he would not have made such a foolish promise. This straw will not spin.
Aha!
Oh, dear. My father will lose his head if I don't spin this straw into gold. Oh! Oh! Who are you?
I have come to help you.
No one can. No one can.
Aha! I can. I can spin straw into gold.
Who are you?
I can spin straw into gold. My name can't be told. My name can't be told. But I can spin common straw into pure gold. See? See?
It is gold. It is gold. Oh, will you help me? Will you spin all this straw into gold?
For a price. For a price.
Oh, I have no jewels, no money. I am the daughter of a poor miller.
You will be the princess. Promise me whatever I want a year from today, and I will spin the gold.
All right. I promise, a year from today, whatever you want. You did it! All the straw is gold.
Of course it is gold. I always keep my bargain. Now you must keep your bargain.
Oh, I am very grateful.
Now you will marry the prince.
Yes, and my father won't lose his head.
Juliana, let me in.
One moment, Father.
I've come to help you escape, daughter. It's almost time. Oh.
Father!
The fool, the stupid fool.
Father! Oh, dear.
Wake up! Wake up, I command you.
Oh, dear.
Gold. Gold! You did it. You spun the straw into gold. Thank who?
Thank me? Ha!
Oh, you.
I'll come back in 1 year. I'll take what I want. Then, remember, 1 year.
Father, I'm afraid. What will he want?
What difference can it make? You'll be the princess. You'll have everything. You can give him anything. Anything he asks for.
A year went by. Deep in the mysterious forest, the strange little man waited and thought about what he would demand of the princess in return for spinning the straw into gold. But no matter how hard he thought, he could not decide what he wanted.
Stay away from me. Stay away, ugly bird.
But the little man had not gotten over his bad habit of always losing his temper. Now the time had come for him to return to the castle. At the castle there was rejoicing, for to the prince and Juliana a baby son had been born. All was joy and happiness until...
You again.
You are indeed a princess.
Because you helped me.
Yes, I did.
Come, you shall have your gift. Anything you
I
like.
don't know what I want. Coochie coochie coo.
You frightened my grandson.
What? He screamed at me. Stop it, stop it!
Get out of here, you ugly beast. Get out.
Father, hush. Remember, he saved your life.
Thank you. But make him get out now and leave the child alone.
What gift do you want from me?
Now I know. I want that baby.
Oh, no.
You promised. Anything I wanted.
But not my child.
Give him to me, or I'll use my magic name and make him disappear.
You're losing your temper. You don't mean that.
I do. Nothing will stop. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Guess his name. Guess his name by sundown tomorrow and he can't hurt you. Is that true?
You'll never guess it.
Father,
You ugly bird, I'll destroy you.
after them, Father. Follow the little man and find out his name. And be back before sundown tomorrow.
So the miller followed the little man into the forest. The crow helped him, leading him when he lost his way.
There you are. Interfere with my plans, will you? Leave this forest forever. I command you by my magic name, Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin.
The crow is gone. Now tomorrow the baby prince will be mine, for she will never guess my name.
Is your name Michael?
No,
Gustav?
no,
Pedro?
no,
Ivan? Ludwig? Percival?
no, no, no. You'll never guess. Give me the child. What's this? What's the old fool saying?
Is it Stixon?
What? No.
Is it Rumpelstiltskin?
You can't know my name. You can't know my name. I won't let you.
He's gone. We're safe.
What happened to the little man? He is no longer in the castle. And he is no longer in the forest. When a person loses his temper, bad things happen to him. Sometimes, when a person loses his temper too often, he even loses himself. That's what happened to Rumpelstiltskin.
Are you sure this is okay?
Just go on in, come on.
See? I told you it was neat.
Go on, sit down.
Do you guys come here a lot?
Shirley and I have been here a few times.
And you've never been caught?
Nah, nobody ever comes here but us. It's like we own the place. And that's okay with me.
I don't think my mom would like what we're doing. Don't worry, Suzanne. She won't find out.
As soon as Shelley gets here, maybe we'll get some beer.
Here's an old beer bottle.
Hey, hand it over. Ladies and gentlemen, here is star quarterback Donovan Armstrong. Donovan, is that a splat you're drinking?
It sure is, Sam. After a hard day of making touchdowns,
Nothing tastes as great as a Splatz. Folks, you heard it from Donovan Armstrong. Splatz, the beer that makes the good life better.
I've always liked those wine commercials. The natural wine that tastes so fine.
Just pour it on ice, and the flavor's so nice.
There's more to life than books. Aren't you hungry, Suzanne?
No.
Hard day at school?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Go ahead and eat, or you'll be hungry later on.
So, what's it like at the new school?
Oh, it's okay.
Any problems catching up with the work?
No, they're behind me.
Suzanne's a real good student. Her last teacher said she wished she had a whole class full of kids just like Suzanne.
Yeah, that'd be fun, wouldn't it, Susie?
Yeah, I guess. May I be excused?
Don't be in such a hurry. Your homework can wait a little while.
My homework's all done. Now I'm reading this terrific book.
Well, that can wait too. You don't have to read all the time, Suzanne.
Back when I was your age, they couldn't get me to crack a book. I was always out with my buddies having a good time.
Have you made any new friends yet?
Oh, a couple.
Well, why don't you go play with them after school sometime? You don't always have to come right home.
Yeah, there's more to life than books. Why don't you go out with your friends? Have a good time.
Okay. May I be excused now?
Oh, all right. Go read your book. I just can't help worrying about her. She's way too shy with other kids.
She'll get over it.
You just saw me, and I felt so tired. I fell asleep right in the middle of the math test.
Didn't the teacher catch on?
No, she thought I was sick. She didn't even let me take the test over.
What does it feel like when you drink beer, Todd?
Oh, real neat. Like you're floating or something. I like it a lot.
But what if you'd flunked the test?
It wouldn't be the first time. Besides, everybody drinks in junior high.
I don't think that's true. I have a cousin in high school. She's a cheerleader, and she doesn't drink, and I don't think her friends do either.
Well, everybody I know does. And I mean everybody. Yeah, I bet Randall gets smashed after every game.
Who? Todd's big brother. He's the captain of the basketball team.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, he gets drunk out of his mind. I saw him play last month. Gee, he's good. Think we'll make it to the playoffs? Maybe. I bet we will. You should see his brother in a game. One basket right after another. Wish I could make it at basketball. I bet I'd be great. Here comes McCarthy with the ball. The crowd's going crazy. Will he score?
Go, Kevin, go!
You can do it! 5 seconds to go as he makes the toss. And it's in!
Yay!
They've done it. They're in the playoffs. They've got Kevin McCarthy to thank for it all. And another great shot by team captain Randall Harrison.
Now, little brother, you know when it's really important. I always score.
You plan to do that at tonight's game?
About 50 times. Now, come on, I bet dinner's ready.
Thank you for telling. Randall, please come down here.
What is it, Mom?
Mrs. North just called me. She found some drugs in Lenny's room, and he said he got them from you.
Oh, Mom.
Is it true?
Well, geez,
Come on, is it true?
Yeah, I guess so.
Randall, how could you? Edward, come here.
Mom, it's no big deal. All the kids do it.
No big deal. It's against the law, and do you know what it could be doing to your body?
Hey, what's the matter? What's going on?
Mrs. North just called me. She said Randall's been selling drugs to her boy.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I don't
But
believe it.
he just told me it's true.
Dad, let me explain.
Oh, I intend to, even if it takes all night.
But I got a big game tonight.
Oh, not you, young man. There's no more basketball till we get this straightened out.
But, Dad, they're depending on me.
That's right. And you let them down.
But, Mom, what's everybody gonna think? He's just got to play tonight.
No, he doesn't. Not tonight.
All right, son, start talking. How long has it been going on?
I don't know. A couple of months, maybe.
Just you and Lenny?
That North boy got Randall started.
No, Mom, you got it all wrong.
And it sure wasn't much of a game without him. Say, Todd, is he still sick?
What?
Is Randall still sick? Yeah, he's not feeling too good. It's too bad he missed the game. We'd have won if he'd been there. Yeah, I know. Say, where's Shelley? She ought to be here by now. Beats me. Maybe her aunt didn't have any beer.
She's taking it from her aunt.
Oh, relax. Her aunt will miss a couple cans.
Maybe something's happened to her.
No.
But what would happen if the police caught her?
They'd throw her in jail for about $1 million years. $2 million.
Oh, no. Well, they're just trying to scare you, Suzanne.
If you ask me, here's what really happened. Shelley took the beer and decided she didn't want to share it with anyone, see? So she went off somewhere and got drunk. Whee! Yeah, old Shelley probably isn't feeling a thing right now.
That isn't funny.
What are you looking at?
Wonder what it tastes like.
Melissa, I want some more milk.
Why, Ben? You still got some milk.
Yeah, but it's not cold anymore.
I'll put it in the refrigerator and you can drink it later.
Okay.
Now go brush your teeth.
All right, the Superman never has to brush his.
Oh, yes, he does. Now go on.
Hi, Mom.
Ben, you nearly knocked me over.
Don't bother Mama now, Ben.
I don't know why. I've got such a headache today. Where are all the glasses?
I just washed them by the sink.
Oh, silly of me. What are you looking at?
Nothing.
I've got a headache.
All right.
Well, I do. You don't know how I feel. And you don't care either. Oh, you can go to blazes. I don't need you. I don't need anybody.
What's wrong with Mom? She's always like that.
Mom doesn't mean to hurt you, Missy. She's sick.
I don't care if she is sick. I hate the way she acts.
I know how you feel, honey.
I don't ever want to be like her.
Mom didn't choose this. Nobody wants to be this way. But it can happen to anybody who drinks.
It won't happen to me. I won't be like her. I know I won't. Does anybody have a watch? It seems awful late to me.
Oh, relax. It's not that late. Besides, Shelley will be here any minute now. That's what you said half an hour ago.
I think I ought to go home. Me too.
We could come back tomorrow. What's wrong with you guys? You can't even wait a few minutes. I don't want to go home. Home's not worth going to. I guess I could stick around a little longer. How about you?
I guess so. Not too much longer.
You should have more consideration for the rest of us. I hope you finished your homework.
Nope.
Then you got no business reading that junk.
You've got no business telling me what to do.
You're the one flunking 2 subjects.
So why don't you go away and let me worry about it?
You know, I don't understand you. I really don't. I mean, no matter what anyone says, you just keep on acting up. You're just lazy.
So what? The way I see it, you're good enough for both of us. Always cleaning or studying or whatever to get somebody to pat you on the head.
That's not true.
You're a goody-goody and I'm not. So just leave me alone.
I didn't mean to make you angry.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I yelled.
But I do think you should have more consideration for the rest of us. Because we're trying.
I know, but nobody cares about how I feel.
Well, you're wrong about that. I care.
No, you don't. You're always bossing me around.
And you're always yelling at me.
Cut it out.
Okay, I gotta go help Mom. And you gotta do your homework.
Ellen. You know, I don't think she's gonna show up.
Well then, let's go
home.
I'll go with you, Suzanne.
Yeah, I'd like that. Hey, Todd, tell Randall I hope he's okay for the next game. Sure.
Hi, you guys. I finally got here.
Hey, Shelley, about time you showed up.
It wasn't my fault I'm late. I had to walk blocks out of the way because a cop kept looking at me. Did he follow you? Nah, I was just being careful. I got some grass and 2 cans of beer. Look at that. Good. Well, help yourself. Come on. What are you waiting for?
Mom didn't choose this. It can happen to anyone who drinks.
No matter what anyone says, you're always acting up.
You don't have to read all the time, Suzanne.
It's no big deal. All the kids do it.
Modern dance is the art of communicating through expressive movement. Kinesthetic awareness, rhythmic accuracy, movement control, design space concepts, developing the range and capacity of the body for movement. Technique is developing movements, which are the basis of fundamental dance movement. Walking, running, leaping, step leap, skipping, natural body movements are distorted or stylized to achieve an art quality in dance. Using a walk, add a turn, a change of direction, add a step hop. Technique evolved from the natural movements of a walk and a step hop, developed skill in the use of stylized locomotor forms. This sequence of movements increases agility, strength, flexibility, motor coordination, and body control. Each movement is related to the one that follows. Natural movements are developed into the stylized forms which become the technique of modern dance. combination of sustained and swinging movements is used to develop breath control and balance. In breath rhythm, the inhalation fills movement with a quality of suspension. The exhalation decreases the dimension of the movement. Transitional movements, whether sharp or sustained, require coordination in timing and balance. Falls arouse feelings of excitement and suspense, the calm acceptance of the body yielding to gravity. There is conflict when the body resists the pull of gravity. To fall and recover creates a continual flow of functional design. The quality of falls is transformed by changes in energy release. There is excitement when the body maintains dynamic tension. Controlled energy release dramatizes opposing forces. The dynamic loss of balance and the controlled effort of recovery are emotionally stimulating. In falls, the body is continually in motion between states of deliberate unbalance and the regaining of balance. When falls evolve their own kinetic rhythms, they touch upon psychological aspects which are a part of all human elegance of turns creates an awareness of the beauty and lyrical quality of the body in motion. One responds kinesthetically through subjective awareness of the physical sensation of turning movement. There is empathic response through feeling oneself into the shape, form, and direction of movement. The flowing contour of curved lines, the impact of direct lines, changing level, the curves and lines of body movement shaping space, all are interwoven in this study in space design. Movement achieves emotional expression when the technique sequence embodies design, dynamics, and rhythm. Vision and imagination transform simple skills into sequential movements which serve to develop skill and craftsmanship. The concept of technique as a sequence of meaningful and related movements designed for expressive purposes finds inspiration in the infinite variations and richness of human movement expression.
It's the American city, once the soaring expression of our creative energy, and now falling apart at the seams. Like Babylon and Troy, it's being sacked by the soul of man in search of new horizons. Like Chichen Itza and Nineveh, disintegrating because of a new drive and a new dream, born in the shadows of tall buildings. The American city is being worn away by a human erosion, by the tide of multitudes migrating to the suburbs. And everywhere, in each once proud citadel of commerce and concrete, there remains at the center of these dying worlds a heart that still beats, a dream downtown, a need and a hope and a right to be remembered in what men call the old city, the inner city. The world within.
Listen, this is George. George, remember? That face you saw once in a blur from your windshield way downtown? I came out of the inner city, and I've gone back because, you see, it's where I have my roots, and I can't forget it. I mustn't forget it, because just as I helped make it what it is, so did it help make me. And you, on the 548 to Suburbia, you made it too. So let me show you around. This is my neighborhood in deep downtown St. Louis, and school's out. These are our children, and the wild dash for home is on. Down the alley. These are our children on their way home. I know the way. Once I traveled it every day. Through the truck terminal, between trucks and trailers jackknifed across the lot. This is their playpen, their jungle gym, their cradle endlessly rocking. This was me, George, on my way home every day. The shortcut through the alley, past lidless garbage cans overflowing ash pits, and through the aroma of backyard outhouses. This was the way home. Up 3 flights of rickety steps, clinging desperately to a worn brick wall. This was the way home. And this was home. Home. 4 rooms, 4 families, 13 kids, 1 outhouse. This is how my people live. My family, my friends. This is how I lived. But you grew up in spite of it and took your place with a gang on the corner. Evenings we congregated under the street lamps and talked about school, movies, girls, exchanged ideas and picked up a few new ones. You were growing up on a street corner, and then something happened. The street corner wasn't big enough anymore. Something happened. Nothing you can put your finger on. You couldn't even say just when it really started. But one night you realized suddenly that you had made a great discovery. You couldn't mention it at home. You wouldn't think of talking it over with a gang on the corner. So you keep it to yourself. And all the while you feel it working deep inside of you. So what do? You take a trip to the zoo. You don't know where else to go, and somehow this seems right, confirming your feeling that the world is bigger than the city blocks you've always roamed. You take the streetcar to the end of the line, just for the sensation of going somewhere, and you notice other neighborhoods with clean streets, with trees and trim new houses edged with green lawns. And suddenly you know that your world isn't all the world, isn't the whole story. It hits you all at once. You know that the corner street lamp doesn't shine far enough or bright enough. The next morning, it's the same world within the city, but it's not the same within you. You're excited. You want to talk to someone, but there's no one to talk to. All the people you know are tired people. You don't know it yet, but they were excited once, just like you. And then suddenly, you can't hold it in, and you try to find words to express how you feel. But the right words won't come. You ought to have better sense, but you don't, and you try again. You've got to share your discovery with someone, anyone. And And so nobody understands, except you. You go on knowing what you feel is real, it's got to be, and you've got to do something about it. You know you can't find what you're looking for by the light of a street lamp. You've caught a glimpse of a dream at the end of the line, and you've got to get going. So you start haunting the public library, reading as many books as they'll let you carry off at one time. And you dream of things you'd like to own and do, of capturing some of the beauty of the world instead of remaining the captive of its ugliness. These are painful, sensitive days when you wear your soul on your sleeve. You've got to get going, so you join an athletic club and pay your dues and use the gym to train for the Golden Gloves tournament. Your stomach tightens up every time you climb in the ring, but you try not to show it. The jab on the beak hurts, but not nearly as much as knowing all the time that the pot of gold you're looking for has nothing to do with gloves. There's something wrong somewhere. You pay your dues, use the gym, but something's missing. You're a name on a membership card, and when you lose that card, you're nobody. That thing inside you is still eating at your heart, egging you on, causing you to struggle against the tired, beaten, hopeless life around you. Then one afternoon after school, you try a new place. Somebody who belongs takes you along with them. That's how it often happens. That's how St. Stephen's happened to me. Doesn't look like much. Some people say it looks like a factory. But to the kids who live in the world within, it's a world in itself. It's home. And it's hope. I remember the first time I walked in. A handicraft class was meeting in what they called the guild room. "This is George," my friend said, and I could tell that someone cared. I could have cried right there because for the first time that I could remember, it was important that this was George. She introduced me again, and the way she did it, it sounded like something wonderful had just happened to the place. Me walking in off the street. Me, George. It was a dark room for photography, the real thing. Before the afternoon was over, something special had developed. I became friends with a mousy kid who lived across the alley from me. I'd never thought much of him before, but now I knew it was important that this was Albert. That afternoon, I became one of the gang. They invited me back, told me to come as often as I liked, and I kept coming. I made baskets, bracelets, nuts. Funny, but I never thought so. I'd have made doilies and loved it, so long as it was my fingers turning them out. so long as I counted for myself. Yeah, I kept turning up. I just couldn't get enough of what St. Stephen's had to give. And what was that? It was what they called fellowship. Being with other guys in the same boat. Guys who understood. And St. Stephen's had something else to give. Love. From the start, they treated me like an individual, like someone important enough to care about. Here, me, and everyone else were loved, even though we weren't always very lovable. This love, it was a delicate thing, but you could feel it, like you could feel the heat from a boiler. It was that real. I'd been coming to St. Stephen's for a month when I ran into the adults. These were grown-ups, most of whom had moved away, but they kept coming back to St. Stephen's because they remembered how it was when they were growing up. They too made me understand that here I counted as someone, with a personality of my own. They asked me to take part in a play they were putting on, said I was just right for it. I was dressed like little Lord Fauntleroy and made up like a chorus girl. And I guess I goofed it at introducing our beautiful girls, but nobody seemed to mind. Everybody got a bang out of it, including me. It was a great night, one I'd never forgotten. I still get a glow remembering it. I was myself, and yet I was one of the gang. We'd done a rare and warm and wonderful thing together. And of course, there was camp. St. Stephen's in the Hills. 140 acres of our own parish countryside overlooking Jefferson County and the Merrimack River. Not many city parishes can boast a summer camp all their own. We're fortunate in that respect. Someone died and remembered St. Stephen's. And among the living, throughout the diocese, there were many who remember us too, giving so that we can maintain and improve it. For most kids, it's their first experience with green hills and clean country air. It takes a while to adjust to the change. The senses are bewildered. Where are the horns and the sirens and the shouts of frantic mothers from their third-floor flats? It's a little strange to breathe this air without carbon monoxide and the odors of the alley. Look at your hands. Where's the soot that should be filling your pores to overflowing? But you get used to it. Oh, how you love getting used to it. For 10 weeks during the summer months, the great outdoors echoes with the laughter of kids from the world within. What does summer camp mean to you? It's a chance for children of the shadows to walk out into the sun. A chance to see God's handiwork around you. A chance to grow. A chance to grow. That's what brought you to St. Stephen's that first day. And though you're happy with it, and happy with what you found here, you know it's still not complete. And so you show up one Sunday morning and everybody's glad to see you. You listen to the gospel. Strange words put together in a strange way. But their meaning is clear, and it stays with you. You see the people you know come to the altar and kneel at the communion rail. You see the choir and the servers, kids you've known all through the week, and they seem different now. You watch, and you're wonderfully moved. You feel lifted up. In the weeks that follow, you learn more and more about what it means to be a member of God's gang. And though you're still moved, you get plenty worried, too. There's a struggle brewing inside of you. And what makes it rough is that you've got to handle it by yourself. You've talked to the priest, and he's a real guy. He understands what you're going through. But he won't give you a written set of rules or a card like they do at the athletic club. That's it, you see. You're on your own, and you don't like it. And so you begin to stew inside. And you take it out in this place. You feel betrayed. You feel like you swallowed the bait, and now they have the hook in you. Well, they're not going to pull you in. If they think they're going to make you over to fit into God's gang, they got another guess coming. Start looking for some way to hurt them. And you don't have to look far. You tell yourself to lift it. Maybe get enough to buy a camera. They'd know who did it. Sure, let them know it was George. George with a mind of his own. And about as tough a kid that ever came in off the street. They'd know who snatched it. And somehow, that's what you like most about the whole idea. You don't have quite enough for a camera, so you raise the rest selling junk. The dealer buys it by the pound, and you come in pretty well loaded. You watch him count out your money, and you look for that extra quarter. You slipped a few rocks into the load to build up the weight, and he never suspected. One thing about George, he knew his way around. You can buy the camera now, only you don't because you don't want it. You feel rotten, sick of yourself for what you've done. Something's hounding you, gnawing at your insides, and it makes you blind mad. You don't want St. Stephen's and all that goes with it. Let them keep their baskets and their plays, their camp and their choir. You're done with it. Done. And inside you build up a heat of steam that makes you mean as you can manage. You turn your back on God and his gang and you let loose. You become something that even you can't recognize. Miserable for weeks. Then you sit by the river one day, and the answer finally comes to you from him. God's gang isn't like any other. Even if you break the rules, you still belong. In God's gang, no one can be bad enough to lose his card. God gave it to you when you were created. Only he can take it away, and he won't let you turn in your passport to hope. Because God is love. From then on, there's peace within you. The storm is over. Everything is clear. You know what you have to do. You come back to St. Stephen's, and it looks almost beautiful. Nobody asks you where you've been. They just let you know how glad they are that you're back. There's a confirmation class beginning, and you decide to be part of it. Later on, when you're ready, the priest finds capable sponsors for your baptism. You promise to manfully fight under Christ's banner against sin, the world, and the devil. And you're baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Then you receive Holy Communion for the first time. You've become one of God's gang and one with his church. You sense at this moment that you're part of a worldwide communion dedicated to building a better world in his name and for his sake. And you rejoice in the world within yourself. Time passes. You get a job, get married, move away. You're older now and you know more. You know about institutions that have run away from the inner city. But you know St. Stephen's won't run away, although they're building a throughway that practically runs through its second-story window. Yeah, you know more now. But everything you've learned only makes you love and believe in St. Stephen's as never before. So you keep coming back, because you want to help in any way you can. You get elected to the parish vestry, and you help get out a parish newspaper to this place that gave you the greatest of gifts. You give of yourself, because you just couldn't do otherwise. you still belong to God's gang. You become one of the teachers in St. Stephen's School. It's something you really like to do. And one day, while you're holding a class in the guild room, a scared little fellow walks in. You hear yourself say to the class, "This is Howard." And suddenly, vividly, you remember. You remember when someone said, "This is George." You remember the difference it made for you. And you hope it will make that difference for this kid, too. You're suddenly overcome by a love for God, knowing that this church, his church, is at work across the land, holding out hope in the old city, the inner city, the world within.
Wasn't that something? The camera work on that is just beautiful. And my friend, the collector, collected a bunch of these. And they're all beautiful color, beautiful shape too. And these would be shown to raise money for different mission activities for the church. So they, around probably Lent, they would, the representative would come by and he would show this film and then ask and say, like, so this is your money. You're donating not only supports your church, but also supports our efforts in underserved communities in the United States and abroad. So that's what that's for. Anyways, I hope to see you guys soon. I am got a couple more days of processing some videotapes and stuff before we make our way back to the archive. But it's great to see you and see your comments. I try to check in when I can. And if you like what you saw, we certainly can use some coffee. I ended up waking up earlier to do this project than I normally do. So coffee is it's key to what I do. And you can buy us coffee at ko-fi.com/avgeeks. You can also go to avgeeks.com and see other things that we put online. And you can hit the like button and the thumbs up and the subscribe and of course always comment and things like that. So everybody have a great weekend, and hopefully I will see you again on Monday. Everybody take care.